for all of you on this hot, sunny day. Now, the weatherman said we're going to sweat to death for the next 5 days, so I want to thank God for air conditioning so that we're able to get inside and get some relief. So, Napa, California got back to me yesterday. And as you can see, they claim they have no knowledge of an incident with Bay Area Transparency, even though the police department put out this public announcement on the arrest. Interesting. So now I have a public records request into the Solano County Superior Court, and we'll see what they have to say. So please be patient for another week or two until they get back with me, and then I'll have a video for you no matter what the answer is on Bay Area Transparency, that is. So I thought today we would bring you the infamous Texas Sheepdog 72, who has a backup channel called Blue Line Whistleblower. Old Jack Edward Malware from San Antonio, Texas. Now, Jack hasn't been very active in the last year or so since his latest criminal charges, and those videos that he has been putting up have been getting pitiful amounts of views compared to his subscriber counts. Now, I want to go back to his name. I wonder where he came up with the channel name Texas Sheepdog. Is he making reference to the dogs who help tend to and guard sheep? Or do you think old Jack is making reference to his 2 failed stints in law enforcement as a jailer down there in Texas? But he ended up getting fired both times. Instead of a sheepdog, maybe Jack should call himself a mongrel, because that's what all of his records show he is. Yes, folks, another fake freedom fighter who may have mental health problems and abuses the First and Second Amendment of the Constitution. Maybe if he hadn't gotten fired from those 2 law enforcement agencies, maybe he could have learned the law so that he wouldn't be breaking it so often and misquoting it all of the damn time. But riddle me this, folks. How do you achieve 17 criminal charges and have 13 of them get dismissed? And how the heck did this guy work in law enforcement with so many charges and so many protection orders against him? Well, sit back, relax, and let's explore Texas Sheepdog 72, also known as the Blue Line Whistleblower, Jack Edward Malware from San Antonio, Texas. So we have to go all the way back to 2010, 15 years ago, to find Jack's first criminal arrest. That was on March 30th, 2010, where he made terroristic threats to family or household member in San Antonio, which is in Bexar County, Texas. That charge ended up getting dismissed. As you can see here, back on June 23rd, 2013, he was charged with furnished alcohol to a minor, which is a misdemeanor charge out of San Marcos, Hays County, Texas. One website says he was found guilty of that charge. The Hays County, Texas court website doesn't even list this charge. So I have no clue if he was really found guilty. I have no clue if the charge was dismissed. I can't tell you because it's not on their website. I did write to them, but I only waited a day or two to make this video on him. So if anything comes back, I'll do an update video on him and let y'all know. His next crime is going to be on March 13th, 2017. He's charged with criminal trespass on private property. The San Antonio Transit Police charged him with that. That charge ended up getting dismissed. We go to February 20th, 2018, disorderly conduct display a firearm at an Olmos Park in Bexar County, Texas. That charge got dismissed. And we're going to go ahead just 1 month to March 7th, 2018. Criminal trespass out of Olmos Park, Bexar County, Texas. That charge got dismissed. And then we're going to go to April 28th, 2018. Interference with the duties of a public servant in Bexar County, Texas. That charge got dismissed. Now we're going to go to August 20th, 2018. Possess a weapon in prohibited places, which was a felony in Leon Valley, Bexar County, Texas. That charge got dismissed. What is going on in Bexar County, Texas, folks? Good God, and it doesn't get any better. February 6th, 2020, he's picked up on 2 charges: assaulting a peace officer, which was a felony, and disorderly conduct, displaying a firearm again, a misdemeanor. Both of those out of Olmos Park, Bexar County, Texas. Both of them were rejected for an extraneous offense, which means it's irrelevant or unrelated to the subject being dealt with. So it's almost like he didn't do those charges at all, and the officers in Olmos Park made them up. So now we're going to go ahead to March 6th, 2020, in Olmos Park, Bexar County, Texas. He was charged with obstructing a roadway, and that charge was rejected as an extraneous offense. Interesting. I saw the video. He blocked the roadway. He did assault an officer, and he also was displaying a firearm. So I don't know how he got away with that one. But they are going to charge him a year later with a different crime, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But on May 27th, 2021, he was charged with harassment in San Antonio, Texas, and that charge was dismissed. And now we're going to go ahead to 9/13/21. This is another charge out of that Olmos Park incident. They ended up charging him with resisting arrest, a misdemeanor. He was found guilty on April 29th, 2022. He was sentenced to 2 years in jail, which was one way says time served, and another way says he starts it on 4/29/22. So I'm not sure how that works. He got a $1,325 fine and fees. He was ordered to attend 80 hours of therapy. No new firearms to be bought. It says may retain current firearms for home protection only. He was not to have any contact with the city of Olmos Park Police Department, or employees of the city of Olmos Park and Olmos Park Police Department, and he must remain 500 yards away from this specific address of the Olmos Park building at all times. Now, later it did say that that sentence got amended to 1 year in jail, which was suspended, 2 years of probation, the $1,325 fine and fees stayed, the 80 hours of therapy stayed, and the no new firearms also stayed, along with the same no contact orders. So our very first conviction that I can show and prove was 11 years after his first criminal offense. And then it gets worse from there. On May 25th, 2023, he's charged with disorderly conduct, display a firearm in Kirby, Bexar County, Texas. That charge was dismissed. He was arrested with a guy named Pedriak, who was born in June of 1980, but I could not find a YouTube page for him, so I don't know if he was just somebody trying to up and come and didn't get anywhere or what. But now we go ahead to January 6th, 2024. He's charged with 3 crimes: the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a felony, a unlawful carry of a weapon, a misdemeanor, and criminal trespass, all out of Kirby, Bexar County, Texas. The unlawful carry of a weapon was dismissed. The criminal trespass was dismissed. And the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge is still open. It's current. The last thing I can find in the court records is on June 16th, 2025, a response letter was sent. It says here his C.J. Grisham is his attorney, and it looks like all of his firearms were taken away because there was a note on the crime that stated no firearms purchase, possess, own, or use. So it looks like all his guns were taken away on that crime. And we're going to go ahead 4 months. And on May 24th, 2024, he was charged with possessing child pornography, a felony out of Bexar County, Texas. Again, there was a notice on the crime that stated no firearm purchase, possess, own, or use. So I believe all of his weapons have been taken away from him. C.J. Grisham is his attorney again. And again, on 6/16/25, the latest on that court case, is a response letter was sent. No explanation on what that response letter is. I wanted to let everybody know there may be more criminal cases against Jack, but I can't 100% identify him in the cases because it's just using the name, or there is no birth date, or there is no address that I can tie to him, so I can't put those crimes up. But I did want to let you know that there may be more. And Jack has 11 civil cases. A couple, 3 of them are he is the suer, but mostly they're coming after him. Then on 12/20/99, Bexar County, the state of Texas, came after him for paternity of a minor child, which was established. Child support was granted. And then go ahead to April 5th, 2011, modification for child support order and confirm arrearage that he had not paid yet. On May 24th, 2000, Marissa sued Jack in Bexar County for an order of protection. Temp order was granted, and a permanent order was protection order was granted on June 15th, 2000. How does he have firearms after that? After 2000, if he's got a permanent protection order against him. Interesting. Come on, Texas, wake up. And on 8/21/2000, the state of Texas took Jack back to court in Bexar County, Texas, for paternity of a minor child of Marissa, which was established. Child support was granted, and an order granting income withholding was completed. Now we're going to go ahead to September 14th, 2000. Jack sued Marissa for divorce with children. That was granted on September 6th, 2001. We're going to go ahead now to 12/29/2008. Jack sued Sandra for a divorce in Bexar County, Texas, and that was granted on April 13th, 2009. On June 11th, 2009, Marissa sued Jack again, this time for a support judgment owed. He owed Marissa $7,075 in child support. Oh, go figure. Old Jack is a deadbeat dad. Yeah. And then later on that month, just a couple weeks later, on June 26, 2009, the federal government came after him for a tax lien for $8,847. That was not a good year or a good month for him, eh? Let's go to November 22nd, 2016. Jack sued Judy for a divorce in Bexar County, and that was dismissed due to lack of prosecution. Must be they weren't. They decided to work things out because on May 2nd, 2019, Jack sued Judy again for a divorce, and this time it was awarded on October 24th, 2019. Now, here's an interesting one. Frauditor going after frauditor. On September 20th, 2022, Jack Miller went after PayPal Patty in Bexar County, Texas. A temporary restraining order was granted. The last entry in the court case is on October 4th, 2022. There was a motion to dismiss the temporary restraining order by Patrick, PayPal Patty. First amended petition, and then there's nothing more. So I don't know what happened on that or not. And then we're going to go ahead to just last year, April 4th, 2024. Anna sued Jack in Bexar County, Texas for a protection order. It says here that there on July 17th, there was a mutual injunction order upon Jack to establish compliance with the protective order, prohibiting possession of firearms, ammunition, and suspending a license to carry. So after 2024, he definitely should not have had any weapons, which goes back to his criminal past there, which, you know, I find that one charge way, way back, I'll show you here again, in 2013, furnish alcohol to a minor. That kind of goes along with his 2024 charges there of possessing child pornography. But we'll leave that alone, and we'll go on to the header we got here. We got Texas Sheepdog. That's Jack Edward Malware. He was born in June of 1972. Currently lives in the Kirby, Texas area, I guess. It's around San Antonio. He's an ex-Texas jailer. He was fired twice, so he didn't last in law enforcement at all. He also has another channel called Blue Line Whistleblower. I got an email address for him there that I'll cross out so that, you know, there's no trouble with him for privacy information out there. He's 5'9", weighs 250 pounds, and it says here he may have some mental health problems, as I mentioned earlier. That's because every single case he has had, there's an order for a mental evaluation. Why is that? Kind of weird. And old Jack was born in California, and that's all I could find on the Texas Sheepdog, Jack Edward Malware. Give us a comment down below to let us know what you think of this fake freedom fighter. Likely angry because he couldn't make it in law enforcement, so now he does dumb things, all the while claiming to fight for our rights. Who wants a jag-off like this guy fighting for their rights? Certainly not me. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you like what we do, and subscribe and share this video if you're so inclined. I want to continue to thank you all for the support of this channel, and give a warm welcome to all of the new subscribers. Well, the Officer Down memorial page is telling us this time around 42 law enforcement officers have lost their lives in the line of duty so far this year. And 51 law enforcement officers have taken their own lives so far this year, according to the bluehelp.org website. If you ever get a chance, go to a law enforcement funeral in your area to show support for your local law enforcement officers. You will feel the sadness and the despair in the air. It is something that will touch you and never, ever leave you. The stigma behind law enforcement suicide is something we need to conquer. It's okay to ask for help, guys. It's okay to talk to someone to get your feelings out. Don't let something fester inside of you and let the evil eat you alive to the point that you take your own life. Please call someone and talk to them. Use one of these numbers that's up on your screen right now. And that's all I got for you fine folks today. I hope you enjoyed this exposure of a frauditor, and you will join us for the next one in a couple of days, when we were going to expose BZ Watchdog, but I have to write to the Tarrant County courts and ask them about a couple of charges. One of them is trespassing, the other one is disorderly conduct that I know he was arrested for, but I can't find in the county court cases. So we're going to write to them and make sure we're not looking in the wrong area or something, and see what we can figure out. And then we're going to do BZ Watchdog, since BZ has such a problem with me. He thinks I dox people. I do anything but. I am very careful not to. He's just pissed because I'm able to expose the criminal past of every single frauditor out there. Well, that's all I got for now, folks. So until then, y'all take care out there now.